In Scripture, it says God created Adam out of the dust of the earth, out of the ground. He just took some dirt, picked it up, and just formed the man. Well, you know the story. Adam was lonely, right? He named all the animals. There wasn't a suitable helper for him. So Yah put Adam to sleep, pulled out his rib, and formed a female from the woman, from the rib. So we often hear, like, in marriage, right? We're just so opposite. And opposites always seem to attract, right? You keep hearing that, my so-and-so, my husband or wife, is the opposite of me, and we have different tendencies and things like that. Well, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. He created the man, and then he removed part of him, and Adam's still over here, and a part of him's over here, and he wants to find himself again. He needs that rib. He needs it. So he seeks it. He desires it. He looks for it. He's looking to be complete, because when God created Adam originally, he was complete. He was a complete being. He was fully man, fully human, fully embraced humanity altogether. But when God took the rib out, he was missing a piece of him, and so he's been searching for that ever since. We all have. So when we find someone of the opposite sex, and we're like, oh, first of all, there's attraction, and then there's, you often see qualities and attributes that they have that you are lacking in your own self. So as you're lacking these things, you're searching for them somewhere, and you find them in a spouse. And why is that? Because you have a certain set of attributes given to you by the Most High, and she has a certain set of attributes given to her by the Most High. And we know what our weaknesses are without actually saying it. We just instinctually know this, right? So we're like, she's really organized, I'm really messy, and the two want to go together. She needs to be a little more loose, and he needs to be more, rigid. So they find one another because they're supposed to balance each other out and become that perfect demonstration of what man originally was. At least that's my thought on it, guys. Like, if you look back to the garden, then you look through all the strife in history, and you look through marriages now, and how there's all this friction and all this hurting and all these things that are just painful. A lot of it's because we know we're missing something, and we're seeking it in our spouse, and she is searching for it in us, and it's the ability to embrace those differences, the ability to embrace them, knowing that you're seeking what she has, and she is seeking what you have, and it's his design. Welcome to day 7, Hungering for Pure Desires. What are pure desires? We will start with searching Scripture for an answer. Now flee from youthful lusts and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. That's 2 Timothy 2:22. Finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good repute, if there is any excellence, and if any worthy of praise, dwell on these things. Philippians 4:8. I will give heed to the blameless way. When will you come to me? I will walk within my house in the integrity of my heart. I will set no worthless thing before my eyes. I hate the work of those who fall away. It shall not fasten its grip on me. A perverse heart shall depart from me. I will know no evil. Psalm 101, 2-4. Therefore, since we have so great a cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let us also lay aside every encumbrance and the sin which so easily entangles us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, fixing our eyes on Yeshua, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. For consider him who has endured such hostility by sinners against himself, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. That's Hebrews 12, 1-3. From these verses, we get a good idea of what pure desires are according to Scripture. We also see what sin entangles so many of us men. How do we keep our desires pure each and every day? I would love to tell you that there's some 7-step process to accomplish purity, but there's not. Each person goes through his own walk of faith. Although, there is one generalized piece of advice I can give you, and that is draw near to the Father. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. That's James 4:8. Here's the day 7 task. Write down what God's desires are for you, according to these verses, and any more you can find. What things does he say to avoid? And what is the evidence showing a person is walking in obedience? Ponder these questions and seek the answers in his word, and prayer, of course. Guys, have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.